So today we're going to talk about Disney's new movie, A Strange World, that has an openly gay main character. Remember, Disney is all about putting queer in everything. Queer, 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 queer. And you notice how they always wrap it in blackness. Don't let your children watch this movie, Christian parents. Welcome back to the Biblical Conservative channel. We're coming against an anti-God, anti-human, anti-biblical, anti-American spirit that's looking to prevail in this land. Please be sure to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Well, Disney's back at it again. As I mentioned in the previous video, they are looking to put queerness in everything.
I grew up watching, all of the classics. They have been a huge, informative part of my life. But at the same time, I worked at small studios most of my career, and I'd heard, you hear whispers. I'd heard things like, they won't let you show this at a Disney show. And I'm like, okay. So I was a little sus when I started. But then my experience was bafflingly the opposite of what I had heard. On my little pocket of Proud Family Disney TVA, the showrunners were super welcoming. Meredith Roberts and our leadership over there has been so welcoming to my not at all secret gay agenda. And so I feel I felt it was, maybe it was that way in the past, but I guess something must have happened in the last they were turning it around, they're going hard. And then all that momentum that I felt, that sense of I don't have to be afraid to let's have these two characters kiss, let's in the background to start, I was just wherever I could, just basically adding queerness to if you see anything queer in the show, I'm proud of them. But I just was no one would stop me, and no one was trying to stop me.
So there's this new movie that's geared towards teenagers called Strange World. And in it, there's a character, the main character, who is openly gay. Openly gay. There's no hinting, there's no hiding it. He is openly gay. It is a part of who he is, according to the person that played the character.
Originally, I was kind of taken away by his character in just the wholeness of his character. I think that was the thing that really struck me, is that this isn't a coming out story, and it's not him looking for acceptance of his identity or him coming to terms with his identity. That's just who he is, and it's not underlined or stepped out. It's not made to be a big deal. There's no anxiety around it or anything. That's just who he is, and it's an aspect of Ethan and just one of the many things that makes him who he is. And I thought that was amazing, and that was a beautiful thing to be a part of and show, and something that I wish that I had seen when I was that age.
Now, I want you to notice something. Whenever they're looking to push this, look at the wrapping that's on it. A black person. Proud Family. At Black Panther. Look at all the Marvel movies and Disney movies. When they're looking to push this, who do they push it in? A black person. You know what that's communicating to the black community? That the highest form of diversity is to be gay. They do not support a straight person. They do not support the traditional biblical family. Disney is no longer family friendly. As Christians, you cannot watch Disney anymore for your children. It's not a safe place. It's not safe for your children to watch anymore, unless you want them to be indoctrinated by this secular mentality that wants to pervert every single thing that is true in the world. And you should notice something. If Gabrielle Union is associated with any type of movie or any type of project, stay away from that. Steer clear. She is all about pushing that LGBTQ agenda. Just look at what she's done to her stepson. She's all about that agenda, man. And so that is why we as believers must stay vigilant. We walk in love. I must repeat this in every video. I am not against people that are LGBTQ. That is a lifestyle that is contrary. That's not God's best. Just like someone who lives a lifestyle full of gluttony and sin and greed and lust. They're the same. It takes the saving knowledge of Jesus Christ to bring that person out of that. And then once that person comes out of that, then they grow and become the person that God has destined them to be. But I am so done with them wrapping this agenda in blackness. They do it because it's palatable. They do it because they know people are going to accept it and normalize it because it's wrapped in blackness. We must reject this. The fact that they're making this movie and it's geared towards teenagers and children should warn you, parents. They want you to accept this. They're trying to make it acceptable, normalize it. They're normalizing this behavior. It went from just an acknowledgement to an acceptance to an affirmation and now to a demand that you must normalize it. I'm sorry. I will never normalize behavior that leads to destruction. The LGBTQ lifestyle leads to destruction. I'm sorry, I hate to say it. I have to tell you the truth. It leads to destruction. This movie, Strange World, will do nothing but corrupt the impression. But why you gotta do this, Disney? Why you gotta do it in a teenager movie like this? Why? Why can't children just go to a movie that doesn't have sexuality in it? Just tell a good story. Don't mix in sexuality with it. Just tell a good story. But no, like I mentioned before and like I played before, they want to put queer in everything they're doing. And this is just the tip of the iceberg. There are so many other movies coming that are having this same agenda, this same mindset, this same message that they're looking to push, and they're wrapping it in blackness because they want people to normalize. They know they can play on the pain of black people and people would not object to it. They will not object to it. It's shrewd. It's deceptive. But I'm here to call it out. We are not victims. We are empowered for greatness.